Hi, everyone. Welcome. Thanks for joining me today for the ACS Professional Year Accelerate Your IT Career with Expert Mentorship webinar today. Hi. Before I do make a start, I'd like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land on which we gathered today across Australia. We pay our respects to their elders past and present, and we acknowledge their ongoing connection to land, sea and community, and extend this respect to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people. Hi. Now, just a quick housekeeping note. If you do have any questions throughout the session today, please feel free to post your questions in the Q&A section. You should be able to find it either on the top panel of your Teams webinar, where there's two talking bubbles and says Q&A. And we'll also make sure that there's some time at the end where we can have a Q&A session as well. This session is recorded along with the presentation deck today will be shared with you via email after the events. And please tell us what you think about the webinar today. There will be a post-survey webinar. Please keep a lookout for it. It will only take a few minutes to finish. Hello, everyone. I'm your host today. My name is Lamo. Lamo Ma. I'm the Operations Manager for the Professional Year program here at ACS. I'm joining you today from Melbourne. We also have a panel discussion segment for today's webinar and have two very special guests joining us. And I'll look very much forward to introducing them to you very soon. Hi. Let's take a quick glance of what we'll cover today. Today, we'll want to give you a good overview of the Professional Year in IT program. And then we'll particularly deep dive into the Professional Environments Online, or we call it PE Online course, that is uniquely offered in the PY program in IT. And then the second half of our webinar is my favorite segment. We'll have a discussion. We'll have a chat with our current PY student and one of our ACS mentor to share their experience with PE Online. Now, let me quickly just introduce who we are at the Australian Computer Society, or ACS. We are Australia's leading technology professional association with almost 50,000 members nationwide. We operate through 4 pillars, as you can see on the screen, building a strong tech community, setting the standards for tech professional skills, creating career pathways for tech talent in Australia, and of course, supporting skill migration through our migration skill assessment and also the Professional Year program. So beyond just migration skills assessment, ACS also offer migration pathway assistance through a range of resources to support the journey. Our Professional Year program, which is why we're all here today, also supports your permanent residency goals. ACS provides networking opportunities to connect with employers and build your own tech community. And you'll gain access to a library of digital resources to develop skills needed for the Australian workplace success. So before we dive into our Professional Year in IT content, I just want to make sure that I make you aware that myself, I'm not a registered migration agent. I'm also not a legal practitioner. The information that we present today is really designed for general information purposes, and with the current information that's available and relevant at the time of delivery, and certainly does not constitute migration or legal advice to your individual circumstance. So what is the ACS Professional Year in IT? Or you often hear people in the ecosystem calling it PY. So PY, essentially, it was created by the Department of Home Affairs in 2008, and the aim was to help international students, or specifically the graduates, to transition into the Australian workforce. So in PY, the IT profession is, of course, governed by a ACS, us, and the engineering PY program is operated by the Engineering Education Australia. PY program is essentially ideal for international students on finishing their degree in Australia, want practical support to help them build confidence and skills to get into the workforce in Australia. Those who want to expand their professional network and take charge of their career development, and of course anyone who's looking for potentially a pathway to permanent residency to Australia as well. Hi, everyone. So the structure of the PY in IT, at its core, it's a job readiness program. And what we aim to do is bridging the gap between your full-time studies and getting employment here in Australia's tech sector. So to break it apart, you would start with a 32 weeks of classroom-based work readiness training. So this curriculum aims to equip graduates with the essential Australian workplace skills. So you'll attend classes where it will cover anything from understanding the legal compliance, the safety aspect of working in Australia, to the more nuanced skills of in the workplace. So communication, how do you collaborate cross teams, cross functionally, and also what about customer service and client services? You get a sense of the gaining the occupational knowledge in the Australian workforce, as well as really hone in on your career development. After classroom training, it's time to start a local IT internship. This is a 12-week component where you get to gain that hands-on experience and also continue to develop and grow your network. And for a lot of our PY students, it's particularly important because it's a really good way for them to potentially securing a reference from their internship host companies or their employers, and that help them securing their next job or employment in Australia. Now, concurrently to this 12-week of internship experience, there is a 13-week online career mentorship and IT skills development journey that is delivered by ACS and our team of mentors, and that's the PE Online, the Professional Environments online course, and what we're here to sort of deep dive into today. And of course, being part of the ACS PY program, you also get complimentary ACS membership as well. So there's many different outcomes or benefits an individual who do the PY program may experience, but if I were to really sort of boil it down to some key points, it's really about after university, giving you an opportunity to really connect with industry professionals and start building those really valuable relationships. You're not just talking to a lecturer anymore. You're not just building out your network with a fellow classmate. You really are talking to people who are either emerging professionals like yourself or those who are actually have advanced their career and have insights to share with you. Of course, the internship component is also a big draw card because, as we all know, international students and migrants face a different type of barriers when it comes to gaining employment in Australia. So having that internship, it gives you something really solid in terms of local experience that you can put on your CV for your job application. And of course, being in an environment that is really all about IT workforce and the job market, you get really practical guidance on job search strategies, resume writing, interview preparation. That is all very, very valuable for a lot of graduates. And of course, being a program that's gazetted by the Home Affairs, the graduate of the PY program could also claim 5 points towards skill migration under an eligible IT skill occupation. Now, there are entry requirements to get into the PY program. The key ones being you will need to have a qualification, and that qualification needs to be a bachelor degree or higher, and needs to be done from completed from an Australian tertiary institution, and of course, it needs to be an IT major. In terms of your visa status, you need to make sure that you hold a visa that permits full work and study rights while you undertaking the PY program. So typically for majority of our students, that is a 485 graduate visa. And of course, there is an English language requirement, and as well as you will be doing an interview, an application interview, or sometimes it's called pre-enrollment interview with your chosen PY provider as part of that admission process. So you heard me mentioning PY providers. Who are they? So essentially, ACS, we partner with accredited education provider to co-deliver the professional year in IT. So we currently have 7 accredited providers and delivering the program across 20 locations in every state and territory. Now, let's take a deeper dive into a specific component of the professional year program, which is the Professional Environments Online course, or we call it PE Online. PE Online is a unique 13-week career mentorship journey that bridges your internship experience with real career development. And it is something that is exclusively for the PY in IT delivered by ACS. So the 13-week kind of break into 4 modules. In module 1, this is where you sort of get yourself set up. You meet your fellow team members or classmates in the same cohort and course with you. You'll get access into ACS Skillsoft. This is an exclusive member benefit for courses and certification preparation at your fingertips. You'll learn about the CPD requirements for Australian IT careers. And also, this is where you start building that peer networks with your classmates through collaborative learning. So essentially, it's looking at starting strong with industry standard tools and building connections that really last for you. In module 2, this is where you start understanding the Australian IT workplace culture, ethics. You'll get a chance to apply the Sophia framework for skill assessment and career planning. And of course, practice through interactive case studies and simulations in the course. Essentially learning the Australian way of IT professionalism and mapping your skills using global standards. In module 3, it's really looking at keeping your fingers on the pulse and understanding what is happening out there and where do you sit in that IT landscape. So you get to stay current with tech trends that's impacting the Australian job market. You develop the essential project management skills that is very, very sought after in any type of roles within the tech sector. And of course, this is where you sort of get prompted to explore career specialization that is available out there. Essentially, we're looking at in module 3 to help you future-proof your career by understanding where the industry is heading, but for you to sort of take charge of where do you want to be in this pathway. And finally, in module 4, when you're about to finish PE Online course and your internship, let's really make sure that you have the preparation to help you launch into the different career opportunities in Australia. You identify your specialization and develop a very targeted career plan for yourself. You practice interview skills and continue to foster those professional networks that you start building. You get personalized mentorship from our mentors and really get some guidance around your own career planning. And of course, throughout these 13 weeks, you engage in group discussions on tech trends, on key topics that they become super relevant, particularly if you ever sit in an interview or a job screen calling contact environment. Um, um, Having a knowledge of what is happening outside of just the skills that you have acquired, show employer and recruiter and demonstrate to them that you have this will to learn, and you are actually continuing to invest in yourself and developing in yourself. And really, Module 4 look at transforming your internship insight that you're concurrently doing with PE Online into pretty concrete career roadmap for yourself, of course, with guidance from our mentors. So in a nutshell, PE Online isn't just theory. You're not going to learn a specific technical skills unless that's what you have decided you want to do. Think of it like a personal career GPS. It helps you navigate, and it's designed specifically for international students who graduated from studying in Australia and looking to enter into the Australian IT market. Hi, everyone. Now, I also want to take this opportunity to sort of talk about the efforts and the commitments that is required of you when considering the professional year program, and also to get the most out of the PE Online experience. Some really important key points to remember is that the program is around 45 weeks, or we generally say, well, it's a professional year, so allow 12 months to finish the program. Make sure that when you do start, do all the orientation. It's making sure that you set off on the right foot. And very importantly, being a program that's gazetted by Home Affairs, you do need to complete all components of the program onshore. So that is the classroom training, the internship, and any online courses. And your attendance, the 100% attendance, is not a recommendation, it's a requirement. Now let's talk about efforts. What efforts are expected out of yourself so that you take charge of your career development? Engage actively. I mean, you're here today, so that's already a really good sign that you are engaging with the resources that are available to you. Collaborate with your peers and leverage the feedback from your mentor throughout PE Online. The PE Online has some flexibility because it's online, so there's a good thing is there's flexibility that fits your pace and your lifestyle, but also it's a really good start to sort of for you to be challenged and gain those healthy habits with time management and how do you prioritize your time. Essentially, your efforts determines your outcome, and for us at ACS, we provide the framework, we provide the mentorship, we provide an environment where you have the peer support, and injecting your efforts in is where you really maximize on the outcome. And of course, how you integrate and what type of attitude you hold going into the program really matter as well. It's important to make sure that you reflect on your internship experience because a lot of the times they're the key context of what you will be using in doing your PE Online learning. This is where you also really get a real sense of developing your work ethics, your adaptability, and those are really soft skills that employers really, really value as well. So PE Online essentially turns your internship into PE Online turns your internship from just being an experience into a strategic career advancement. So really, the magic happens when classroom delivery and classroom theory meets real-world internship and industry experience and enhanced by mentorship. And that is where essentially the PY advantage, if you will, on what we can offer to graduates. And don't forget, as a PY student, you also receive a complimentary 12 months ACS membership with a lot of different benefits that can help with accelerating your career development as well. So you hear us talking about Skillsoft, and if you are a student member with ACS now, you would have also been briefed about the power of Skillsoft. It is exclusively for ACS members. It has over 40,000 digital content and resources to help you skill up. Anything from technical certifications, how to prepare for that, and the learning you need to do for it, to soft skills that are, of course, very critical for workplace success. And of course, with migration support, get assistance through from the Migration Skills Assessment team, their App Assist consultation service, their monthly Q&A webinars that they host, and a lot of useful guides on their info hub that helps you navigate ANSCO codes and eligibility requirements as well. And network. We couldn't harp on about network enough about the benefits of being part of this community. Go to events, connect with leaders and peers in the industry, expand your visibility and improve your opportunities to actually have those job opportunities open, doors open up for you. And of course, there's also the careers platform. There is a dedicated platform for ACS members, particularly our student or emerging professionals, on career advice, looking at job opportunities, particularly on grad jobs or internship opportunities that are posted through our ACS professional members. Hi, everyone. So, looking at PE online as a whole, there's a lot of different outcomes and benefits that we aim to help participants achieve. But some of the key ones, I think, from talking to students that we often find most useful, it's a course that's really tailored for international students to have an awareness on entering into the Australian IT market. Get personalised mentorship, get career advice from our mentors who are all professional IT professionals in the space. It's also really important for you to utilise this opportunity to sort of get pointed to the right direction where you can get insights into the Australian IT culture, industry trends, and emerging technologies. Because how you communicate and the context and the content that you share in your communication in these networking events is what sometimes often makes you stand out in the crowd as well. And of course, it's also about a community. It's about having that connection. A lot of time we hear students saying it's just so nice to be finishing uni and then now in another space where everybody is really all working on pursuing the same goal together. It keeps you motivated and it gives you a sense of you're not doing it alone. And of course, at a whole, the program aimed to prepare you for success, to land an IT job in Australia. Hi, everyone. Okay, so this is my favorite part of this webinar, which is getting to talk to those who really are living through the PY experience now. So to get the panel discussion started, I'd like to introduce you to our two special guests today. We have Dongyuan Yang, who's joining us from Canberra today, and Dongyuan is a current PY student. He graduated from the Australian National University with a Master of Computing degree. Dongyuan is right now finishing his PY in IT, doing his PE online, and also interning as a application support and digital delivery intern at an organisation called Creative, where he works on web projects for clients, including the High Court of Australia. His experience spans Drupal CMS, Python, backend development, and client-focused solution delivery, which is those kind of more nuanced skill and not as technical as Python, but they're very essential skills in succeeding in a workplace. Dongyun is passionate about growing his IT career in Australia and gaining more hands-on experience through real-world projects with a social impact. And also we have our lovely Raj, or Rajpreet, who's joining us from Melbourne, one of our ACS mentors delivering DPE online course. Raj is a seasoned educator with over 20 years of experience in teaching and mentoring. Raj has a proven track record in guiding students towards success, having mentored PY students at ACS for over 3 years now. Raj's expertise lies in software development, software engineering, and database management, and she is passionate about keeping up with emerging technologies. As an ACS certified professional, or a CP, she brings really a wealth of industry knowledge to the table and is really committed to preparing students for the Australian workplace. And a very warm welcome to you both, Dongyun and Raj. Right, so let's get stuck into it. I think it's always good to sort of break the ice a little bit, practice your vocal cord a little bit. Let's start with an easy question that I have for both of you. In just a quick short sentence, I'm keen to know what surprised you the most when it comes to PE online, particularly versus your initial expectation. Let's hear it from maybe the student perspective first. Dongyun, what surprised you the most about PE online compared to before you were doing it, and then now that you're kind of in the tail end of the course?
Yeah, okay. So thank you, Lamont, and thank you, Raj, and thank you all the backend stuff for today. So for the first question, I think what really surprised me was how the PE online classes, they like seamlessly combine soft and hard skills and help us shape the career goals, like including the VIA method, and that's actually match what we are interested in and what suits us best.
Thank you. Yeah, and I think I'd love to dig a little bit deeper with some of my subsequent questions later, but thanks so much for sharing that. That connection with learning, but also you're not learning Python A or coding. You're actually learning about how to build your career, set your career up. What about you, Raj, from a mentor perspective? You might have to go back to 3 years ago when you first started mentoring PE online. But what's the biggest surprise for you from a mentor perspective?
Thanks, Lamo, for that wonderful introduction. And for me, the biggest surprise has been the remarkable boost in student confidence during their 13-week journey of this course. So definitely, I have seen students evolve not only in technical skills, but the key soft skills like communication, teamwork, work ethics, and even the leadership. So by the end of this course, they really learn how to express themselves in real-world meetings, how to collaborate and communicate professionally, formally in the meetings. And on top of that, they able to plan their professional and personal development journeys very well, and they take charge of their professional development. So it's a really amazing experience for me.
Yeah. I often do look at your job and I go, that's a really feel good job, because they come in 13 weeks later, you see that change and that skill up in these young emerging professionals. Thanks so much for that. And with that, I'll kick it off with some questions that I have prepared. particularly, Dongyuan, you were talking about, you sort of gave us a bit of a teaser on the PE online experience. So let's dive deeper into it. As a PY student, can you describe the PE online experience to us? Particularly, what are some of the key insights that you like to share with anyone, with our audience today who mostly or international students or recent graduates who may be considering embarking on this course soon?
Right. Okay. So, so for the key insight, so one key insight I could share is that so the course, this is about discovering like who you are professionally, and so to help you build the right mindset for a long-term success in the Australian tech industry, which you guys are about to step in. And so the course, I think the course is now the fact is the course is modular and like a progressive structure. Since the course runs alongside with our internship, if you really take the time to complete each module seriously, you will clearly see how you are learning connect directly to your work experience. So personally, I could feel the knowledge from like each module gradually coming into play. So whether it's like the communication skills, like ethical decision making, and or understanding like the workplace dynamics. Like this is really a great feeling when you realize that what you studied is actually helping you navigate real workplace situations. And also for the ACS membership, so about the Percipio platform, so it's really offered like an unmatched learning platform, so like the Percipio and Learning Accelerator. So you're not only able to find training on soft skills, so which is mostly the PE online course did, and but also you will get like a wide range of certificate courses across different career paths. Like if you where your goal is to become a cloud developer, a full stack developer, or just like a data scientist or something else in tech, you will all find the courses because the certificate here in Australia is like very important in the industry, especially. So the learning platform, the Percipio and Learning Accelerator, this will help you like have a lot of range of courses. You can help prepare with your certificates, and they are all like in one site, so it's like even easier for you to decide or find what you are looking for instead of just hanging around like with no clear point. So so what is amazing is that so all of this included with your membership, and you don't have to spend extra money to access these resources. It's much more convenient and accessible than many other platforms out there. And so that's something I would highly recommend future students to take fully advantage of. Yeah, I think that's my opinion about that.
Yeah, awesome. And I think one of the things I find PE online is so so smart about putting it in the PY program, but then also the way it's kind of designed, how it leverages the ACS membership benefits. What you were talking about, Skillsoft, ACS Skillsoft, that learning platform. It's a very well regarded learning platform. And it also has these amazing ability for really recognizing your learning as well. So, if you finish something, you earn a badge, and we live in a world where that badge becomes such bragging rights for your LinkedIn post and whatnot. So it's in tune with, what helps you get noticed and what helps you to sort of present your skills as you step into, like you said, really going out there and applying for a job in a real work environment as well. Thanks so much, Dongyuan. I'm going to switch my attention to you now, Raj. Let's hear about the resources that is in PE Online, especially now. Dongyan sort of talked about it from a learner perspective or from the student perspective. Raj, how do you integrate the career development resources that's available through ACS? We sort of talked about that into PE Online course for our PY students.
Thanks, Lama. So Dongan already mentioned how effectively he's already using these resources. So ACS has wide range of resources that can help young professionals to thrive especially in this fast-paced IT industry. So as Dhangan mentioned, there is Skillsoft. Before that, we call it ACS Learning Accelerator. So now this Skillsoft, it's an excellent platform with thousands of resources. So students learn industry relevant knowledge, and also it helps students to prepare for certification courses. So there are courses from different vendors, AWS, Google, Microsoft, and so many more. So students can do courses as per their professional development and career aspirations. And also there are courses related to soft skills and in this PE Online course, so there are few mandatory courses that we want students to do, as you already mentioned, 4 modules, and those courses mainly related to work ethics and how to communicate, collaborate in teams, and of course on emerging technologies, especially AI and machine learning, cloud computing, so many more. Some are mandatory courses and some students do for their professional development journey, and here the mentor play a role as well. So students choose the courses and plan their journey as per their career aspirations, and we are as a mentor always happy to support and guide them throughout their journey. And the other very special thing, that resource I will say, is Safia framework that's integrated in this course, and that is really useful and student use that resource to assess their skills as per industry requirements, and they assess their skill levels as well. And after doing that assessment, they get a clarity on what are their strengths and what skills they need to develop or they need to improve to get specific role in the IT industry in Australia. And here it plays a role that soft skill and the Safia assessment. Then student can choose the courses from the certification section from Skillsoft, and they do those courses for their professional development. And I love to see that how they plan their journey for professional development, keeping in mind, okay, these are the skills that we need to develop. And we as a mentor always, if they need help with, okay, what course we need to do to get this particular skill, so we always guide and support them with the decisions so that they can achieve their career goals. And on top of that, as you already mentioned, ACS events. So we always recommend them to attend those events online or face-to-face, but the face-to-face one is really the best one, where you get the chance, or it's an opportunity that you meet industry people and you expand your network. And so these are all the resources, and there are many more Information Age and Digital Pulse. From that, student can get more knowledge and latest trends in industry.
Yeah, I subscribe to the Information Age. It's kind of like a digital news, and it's such an interesting read. I'm not a IT technical background person, but just someone like me who come from more of a business background, educational background, it's still tech is just such a social topic that I think to read it in a way, news and information in a way that really explains to us how does that impact our everyday life, or a lot of other aspects in society is such an interesting way. And I keep going back to bragging rights and networking. It really comes down to like, I'm just a more interesting person to talk to. Like, especially if I go to a networking event, that's what I want to be. I want to be the person who has something to talk about, or who can always tag on to a conversation and have an input and contribute. And that doesn't happen with getting distinctions in a particular subject. That happens with really sharpening the skills, and also opening yourself up to absorb information and knowing where to access those resources as well.
Yeah, definitely. Students like it. Especially the discussion on information is article and news, and these days, especially AI, cybersecurity, and they really indulge in discussions and share their experience. That's the favorite part of that for me.
Yeah, I love that. And of course, there's the Sophia framework you were talking about, the skills for the information age framework that is actually an internationally recognized sort of a framework to look at the specific skills and the level of capability required for these different types of skills. And, for a lot of our audience here, a lot of job advertisement, or a lot of HR department, they actually use Sophia framework to sort of map out the position description, and then when they do go and advertise for a job, they use the Sophia framework to sort of outline the key selection criteria, the required capability and skills. So having PE Online sort of giving you that exposure to really understand it, it's really aiming at giving you that competitive edge when it comes to your job application and CV writing and interview strategy. Thanks so much for that. I'm going to bounce back to Dongyuan, our PY student now. Let's talk a little bit about how PE Online have influence in terms of your personal professional growth. Now that you're kind of at the tail end, you're about to finish internship, you're about to finish PE Online, that means you're about to finish the professional year program. How has PE Online, or even just the experience of PY program, influenced your career development here in Australia tech sector?
Yes. So just as I mentioned before, aside from the hard skills, which I believe like most of the students have already equipped themselves with through academic learning. So what the course can offer is like the softer skills and how you tailor them with your hard skills. You may have learned some of them, some of the students, if you have learned like some professional, I can't remember the course name, but some course have the like softer skill learning, but it's probably not so tailored as PY projects and the PE Online classes. So how is it tailored to your hard skills? And actually, so as far as I know, so many students, especially those like coming from academic backgrounds, some of the students might underestimate the importance of softer skills, but they are actually really matters a lot here in Australia. That's my own experience. So I will take myself as an example. So I had a conversation last week with my supervisor and manager at my internship company. So based on my performance during the PY internship placements, and so the company is actually offering me another 3 months paid internship full time opportunity.
Wow.
Yes,
awesome. Congrats.
Really like feel lucky actually. But so one thing they specifically mentioned was like how much they appreciate the softer skills. So I can demonstrate it during the meetings and like the team communication. So especially the meetings. So these are exactly the skills I developed through the PE Online courses. So, in our PE course on online courses schedule, so we will have like a routine meeting, like in in the first three modules. So you will like switch the role. You'll be the like the chairperson. You'll be like note taker and some other roles. So this experience really helps me like how you can seamlessly combine those all soft skills you learned. This is a very direct and a very good way to know things like active listening, like clear communication, and like leadership. If you do the chairperson, you like time managing, like the. So this is how you can review how good you have learned, and if you really took some time and put some effort in that, you will find yourself like great improved with that, and so that will bring you very good impression when you get a job. Yes, and that's very helpful.
Yeah.
So and in addition, the tool I found particularly helpful was I just saw in the chat section. So one of our attendees just asked what it was the assessment name, and I just about to talk about it. It's the SFIA, Sphere Self-Assessment. Sphere Assessment. So before doing the test, I actually wasn't very clear on how to measure or describe my own skill level.
Yeah.
And but after completing it, I was quite clear to see a picture of like where I stand and which areas I need to work on to grow professionally. And it gave me like a framework to think about my career path in like more structured way.
Yeah.
So especially in terms of developing from a junior role towards becoming my career goal is to become a full stack developer.
Nice.
Yes. So this will help you like generate a clear path for you. So which skill set you are gonna put more effort on, or like keep learning stuff like to grow yourself into a certain level.
Yeah.
So this is like a steady process. You will know yourself and where you stand at, and that will be great help for your long-term goal.
Yeah.
That's that's what I think most PE online classes, include my career development here in Australia.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah. And thanks so much for sharing. And congrats on having that extension on the internship as well. Like that's I mean that's a paid internship as well. That's the key here as well. That's a real testament to, really using this PY program experience and maximizing what you get out of it, so then you really are getting outcome. Because at the core of it, we want to see employment outcome. That is how we know we are on the right track. I'm just looking at time. I'm going to wrap up with my last questions. I do like to ask this question in this particular webinar to both our guests because, Raj, yourself, and in fact, all three of us are migrants of Australia at different stages of our migration journey, right? For Dongyuan, you're at the very sort of early stage. Raj, you and I, we've migrated here many moons ago, and we know the trail and tribulations and the triumph. We've experienced all of that. So to both of you, like, tell me, what's the biggest rewards of living and working in Australia? And for our audience today, what advice would you offer them? Raj, why don't we start with you first?
So I really love the work culture here. So like here, mainly the importance is given to work-life balance, and you have flexibility in like work arrangements, and on top, like employers, they give priority to the professional development of employees. Especially there are schemes to support them to do their professional development, and that's I think very important in every sector, especially in IT. So I really love that thing, that the work culture of Australian.
Excellent. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Yeah. What about you, Dong-Yun? You're at the start of things, and I'm going to take it that you want to hang around. What's been the biggest rewards for you?
So one of the biggest thing about like living and working in Australia is like how much you can grow as a person and as a professional. People here, from my experience, they really value not just what you know, but how you work with others. Things like the teamwork, communication, being open-minded. I learned that during my internship, and it's really made a big difference.
Yeah.
And so from my own experience here, I have already lived here in Australia, in Canberra, for 3 years. Like at the beginning, it was really a bit hard to adjust. I must, to be honest, I like almost locked myself in an apartment for about the first 1 year. When the COVID is still like, you know.
Oh, that was tough times.
Yeah. So, and I don't really got much chance like talking with others. So yeah, things got changed maybe in the second year. Yeah. So like as an international student, I think many people would be the same as me.
Yeah.
I actually wasn't always sure how to communicate with like others. It will be like a very long process to learn. And but you must like keep on practicing. Like for me, I got a little trick. So if you're gonna communicate with others, you can like in very little sound that you can only hear yourself, that you can practice them always. And after you communicate with them, you can just review what you just said. Oh, what have I just said? And maybe in some better way, you to think in your mind, or just speak aloud in a very small voice you can only yourself can hear. Yeah, that's my way to practice like communicating.
Yeah.
And to the like workplace and after I graduate, so the problem from communication will become different, like how to communicate in meeting or how to understand the local work culture. This is quite different from like the daily communication with the others, or you like make friends with them. But yes, I slowly improved my by really focusing on the calls and my personal practicing.
Yeah.
So and most listening to the feedback from our mentor and the team. So yeah, that's what I just missed in the several questions before. I just mentioned like we have the meetings in every module, right?
Yeah.
So another thing that surprised me is that how Raj, our mentor, is taking how serious it is to our meeting, and she did really put on like really useful comments and really go through all the meeting and give us really good suggestions.
Yeah.
And from every perspective, how you did well in this part or that part. And she really, and our mentor, Raj, she really encourages us in many different ways. Like, I really appreciate that. And that's great helpful.
Yeah.
And yes. And another thing is like you must not stop learning, just to being willing to learn.
Yeah.
So like over time, I like felt more confident and comfortable. It will be. So I would say it will be like a natural if you live here for a long time, you'll be like natural, confident and comfortable. So if you came here not so long, or you still not very confident to communicate with others, I think you don't have to worry about it. Just find your way to practice. It will naturally become good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you were thinking about like doing the PY program, which I think since you all come to our webinar, I think most of you are really interested in it. I would say so. Don't just treat the PY program like a box you have to tick. You will like get a lot more out of it if you treat it as a real chance to prepare your future. So my suggestion will be use the resources, focus on connecting with others, and don't be afraid of asking any questions. So it will really open doors for you. So yeah.
It's really nice. Yeah, I want to add it here, like the Dangan mentioned about definitely don't consider it only for points. So consider it as an opportunity because internship and PE online course they run simultaneously. So Dongwen given and told about his experience. So definitely sometimes you are good in technical skills, but not in soft skills, communication and collaboration. So whatever you learn from your PE online course, so apply those skills in your real workplace or internship and you will definitely get best out of it. And if you find some technical skills you need to in your current internship or job, so you can choose courses from Skillsoft and you can get help from your mentor to know what courses are useful or what courses you should do to develop those skills. And so this goes together and this is we can say that it's gateway for you to enter into the industry. And if you are keen learner and if you do your best, and then definitely employer will not let you go like Dongon. So they will offer you the employment because they trained you for 2-3 months. And definitely, and if you are giving your best, you are keen learner, then you will definitely get the entry into IT industry. And please don't hesitate to ask your mentor whether it's your internship or PE online course. So always ask for guidance and support if you need. So that's what here we are for. So yeah, this is really a good opportunity to get entry into IT field.
I want to and I will wrap up the Q&A. I will wrap up the discussion for now so that we have some time to address some of the questions that came through as well. But I just want to really say thank you so much because and so one thing that both of you said is particularly coming from you, Dongyuan, as a student is the golden advice around really ask yourself, why are you doing this program? And I can see in the audience there were some questions around, questioning whether or not there's value in doing the PY program. And I actually really want to make it very clear that you don't have to do PY. It's not a must do if you are looking to migrate to Australia or looking to get enter into the workforce in Australia. It's not a must-do pathway. But for thousands of the students that we graduate every year, it becomes, it's what you get out of it and why you want to do it. And for thousands of students that we graduate every year, it means something for them. It's helped them to develop their skills further. It gives them the opportunity to sharpen those areas that maybe they need a little bit of help. So I just want to make it really, really clear. And you guys have heard it from Dongyuan on what he got out of it. It's your career. It's your journey. Take charge of it. And if you're here today, it's because you're considering it. And I thank you for being here. But I want to make it very clear that it's not something that everybody has to do. And hopefully today's session have given you a bit of an idea on whether or not it is the right choice for you. Now, there was also another question around, not so much question, but someone shared their experience actually about their 32 weeks of in-class session where it sounded like, I'm so sorry to hear you didn't have quite the experience that you set out to get. I would really, if you're still in the audience today, I would really recommend you to get in touch with me or send an email to us. Let us know what happened because we do have a very rigid quality assurance process to make sure that our providers are delivering the program up to standards of the highest quality. So if there is any issues with that experience, we'd like to hear from you. But I'm happy to hear that you found the PE online component quite useful. There's probably only time for me. I'm grateful for my colleague who's been helping out with addressing some of the questions, but there is probably time for me to just address one specific question also also just around, around the PY program's alignment with the current migration policy. And I just want to take the opportunity to kind of touch on that for everybody as well, in case that's something that's on your mind. So I'm here providing an information session today because the PY program continues to be a valuable pathway for some international graduates who's seeking to establish themselves in the Australian IT industry. As for ACS, we are actively working with the government to ensure that the program remain aligned with the current migration policies and industry needs as well. By providing, we talked about what PY offers in terms of hands-on experience, mentorship, professional development. The program continues to equip graduates with skills that they need to succeed in the job market, and it aligns with the government's focus on making sure that they are attracting skilled migrants that contribute to the country's growth, economic growth, social growth. So while there has certainly, we don't live under a rock, there has been discussions around reviews, the point test system, migration reviews. It's really important for me to just make sure that everybody understand any formal changes requires legislative approvals and ministerial support. So that means the PY program current value as a pathway to skill migration remains very much intact. As migration landscape evolves, this is my 20th year living in Australia. I've seen a lot of changes. So we can't hide away from changes. And so as migration landscape evolves, for ACS, we remain committed to making sure that we're advocating for the value of PY and its continued relevance and effectiveness as well. So we are definitely time's up. So I will wrap up here. You will get the slide deck for today's session, so you'll get some of the quick the screen sharing of the different slides that I really want to make sure that I share with everybody here today, as well as the recording as well. And please, when you get the email, do the survey. Let us know how we did. But with that in mind, I just want to say a massive thank you to Dongyuan and to Raj for sharing your stories, for sharing your experience. And I want to thank everyone here in the audience today for being so active with your questions and your queries as well. And we will end the webinar here now. Thank you very much, everyone. Have a good afternoon.
Thanks, Lamo. Thanks, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, Lamo. Thanks, Raj.
Bye.